it asks how many lines, how long do you want the pattern to be? So for example, if I put 4, then theoretically the output should be 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and 4, 4, 4. So you have 1, 1, 2 2s, 3 3s, and 4 4s. Okay, so if the output, if n is 4, this should be your output. How does this work? Well, we use a loop, okay, for I in range, n, okay. So it basically goes from 1 to n, and n is your input. Okay, so when we're analyzing how a program works, it's very useful to use a trace table of sort. So say your input n is equal to 5. Okay, that's your input. Now the first thing it will print is string I plus 1 times I plus 1. Now the reason we use I plus 1 is that in this loop for I in range, okay, the I does not start from 1. The I actually starts from 0 to n. So the first thing is that I equal to 0. Okay, that's what I is at the beginning. And so once we go inside, we can see that I plus 1, so 0 plus 1 would equal to 1. So you know what? Let me just do this. Print. Hold on. I think this would be easier if we do it like so. Okay, so in the beginning, remember I starts from 0. So in here, it would be 0 plus 1, and then 0 plus 1 again. Okay, so now what will this output? Okay, so right now, the thing that's inside the string bracket, that's the thing you want to concatenate. That's the thing you're concatenating. Because remember, concatenate, you convert it to string, integer, when you're doing calculations, you keep it as an integer. So this is the bit we're concatenating, okay, which is 0 plus 1 is 1. And that's 1. Okay, so basically what's happening here, if you guys can recall correctly the Ford example of how we use a multiplication sign to concatenate, you'd know that this will concatenate 1 time. So the first line of output would be 1. Okay, now we go to the next one. Now, I would be incremented by 1 because it's part of this for I in range. So instead of 0, it's incremented by 1. So now I equals 1. Okay, and so 1 plus 1 would give you 2. And this would give you 2 as well. And so what's going to end up happening is that this you convert 2 to string because that's the thing you're concatenating. And you're going to concatenate it twice because it's times 2. And note how this 2 right here, I did not convert it to string because that's the thing you're multiplying by. That's how many concatenations it will have. Okay, so if, for example, if I put string like this, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to have, what do you call this? This will not work because you can't multiply string with a string. Now, I mean, if you do this, then it will work because now you're concatenating, okay? And so this is what it will give you. Anyway, so let's remove the string. And so now this 2 will be concatenated twice. So now the next line of output would be 2 and 2 because 2 concatenated twice. If this was not 2 and this would instead be mom, okay, what will happen is it will be mom and then mom. Mom is the string that you're concatenating, and this 2 right here is how many times you're concatenating. So it will be mom and mom. Anyway, now we move into the third output. So I hope you guys are seeing the pattern here. So now I goes from 0, it goes to 1, and now it's at 2. Because every single cycle, the I is incremented by 1. So now I equals 1. And for those of you that don't know, incremented just means increased by 1. Okay, so I is increased by 1, so now it's 2. And 2 plus 1 equals 3. And now, again, you're concatenating 3 because it's the string, and you're concatenating it 3 times because that's the integer. And so you're concatenating 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, like so. And then, it goes on and on and on because now I is now equal to 3. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and then 4 plus 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4, and this will give out 4, 4, 4, 4. And the same thing again. Now I again increased by 1. So now 4 plus 1 equals 5. I remember is 4. 4 plus 1 equals 5. And so this will have this 5 will be concatenated 5 times. So 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. And boom, if you combine all these together, you'll get a 1, a 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, and 5, 5, 5. Now, there are other ways to do this. Like I said, Hasna, Adam, Lutfi, they did it in different ways, but this is the quickest way to solve this program. And so if anyone has any questions or don't understand anything, please ask. Okay, great. If everyone understands my explanation, great. This time, I want you guys to solve this question on your own, for those of you that couldn't do it. So let's go back to the whiteboard. And okay, so write a program that produces this pattern. Now that you've seen the solution, okay, you've seen the solution, I want you guys to be able to solve this on your own. And if we're done with that, we can finally move on to substring. Now, as for Adam and Hasna, who has completed this question beforehand, don't worry, I'll give you another question to do.
Excuse me, Rafif.
Yeah.
My Python is I don't know.
All right, just hold on a second, as I will come back to you. Okay, so for those of you that finished question 3, Adam, Hasna, Lutfi, you guys should go and move on to question 4. Now, question 4 is similar to the question 4 you did 2 weeks ago. The only difference is that last lesson, It's to check if it's symmetrical. This time it's to check if the string is a palindrome. Now, what is a palindrome? Well, say the string is AMA, AMA, okay? So forward and back, it has the same exact letters. So if you read it from here, from the start, it's AMA, AMA. If you read it from the end, it's AMA, AMA. So from the start or from the end, from the forward or from the back, the letters are the exact same. Now, this is different from symmetrical because, for example, symmetrical, like say, for example, co. Now, look, the beginning, okay, the first half is the same as the second half, okay? So yeah, it is symmetrical, but it's not a palindrome because if you read from the front, it's co, but if you read from the back or from the end, it's och, okay? So it's different. The start and the end is different. So there's a difference between symmetrical and palindrome. So that should be your question for task. Now, again, for those of you that, can't do question 3 or that find question 3 and question 4 too difficult, that's okay. It's fine. I'll give you a question 2. Okay. And the question 2 is very simple. Hold on. Let me think of a nice, simple question.
Excuse me, Latif. Python is my Python application is
Yes, it should be under FI.
seems doesn't work.
Yeah, okay, hold on, Azam. I'll come back to you. Just let me do the question 2. Anyway, so for those of you that find question 3 and question 4 a bit too difficult, I'll do a simpler one, which is write a program that allows you to input strings, okay? If the string is longer than 5 characters, then concatenate it. So for example, if your string is rhinoceros, okay, forgive me if I spelled that wrong, but see, it's longer than 5 characters, then it will be concatenated. Let's have another one, ball, not longer than 5 characters, so it won't be concatenated. Let's have another one, spaceship, okay? Spaceship is longer than 5 characters, so it will be concatenated. So the end result would be rhinoceros spaceship, like so. And remember, this rhinoceros, 5 characters, part of the concatenation. Ball, 4 characters, not longer than 5, so it's not part of the concatenation. Spaceship, longer than 5 characters, part of the concatenation. So you would need to use, what do you call this? An if statement in order to find out which characters are longer than 5. And also in that if statement, you would need to use len. And then len like string, whatever your input variable is called. That's how you find out how many characters it has. So if len string is bigger than 5, if len string is bigger than 5, then you concatenate it. like so. Okay, as I'm, what seems to be the problem?
My Python application is my Python application is seems uh seems error. I don't know why. Since the last lesson was since the last lesson it's to starting to error.
Can you open it?
I can't. It says error. Can't open this application. It says to fix this bug, you need to roll out and download the application again and start up.
Okay, then you gotta do that. You gotta download the application again.
Okay.
Rafif, I finished question 3. Should I just go on to the other questions, or should I show you first?
Just show me.
No, okay. Okay. So here's the thing. You basically input a number, and then it yeah, it does this. It concatenates the stuff.
Okay, good. So hold on. Which one is the concatenation and which one is the multiplication?
What do you mean?
Like for example, which data item are you concatenating, and uh, which value is like the amount you concatenate by?
Oh, the amount is wait, so the amount is G. So like, because I put 5 and then it's 5 numbers, and then N is the, what do you call it?
Like the value that you're concatenating.
Yeah, the value that I'm concatenating.
Okay, good. Well
Alright.
then, you can move on to question 4 now.
Oh, okay. Should I do question 2 first? Oh, did we do that last
No,
last time?
I think if you could do this, you could definitely do question 2. So
Okay.
just move on to question 4.
Okay, all right.
Rashad, are you there? Rashad? Okay, doesn't look like he's there. just a tip for question 4. What you need to do is you've got to compare the string from start to end with the string from the end to the start. Okay, this is a tip. So you've got to somehow get a hold of the string from start to end, which should be easy because that's what you inputted. So that should already be there. And so now you need to find a way how to get the string from end to the start. There's a lot of ways you can do this: substrings, loops, and concatenations. But whatever way you choose, you got to make sure that you manage to find a way to get the string from the end to the start. And so you can compare it with the original and see if they are equal.
Roughly if I finished my code, which is number 4.
All right, go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Share. Screen. Okay, can you see it?
Yep.
So it first takes the input a word, then it lists the word into character, all the characters. It takes it checks the length, it splits it in half, then it gets the first half and the second half, and it compares them to check if they're equal. Then if I run it, let's say I put Adam, it's gonna say it's not a palindrome, but if I put, let's say, BADA, it will say it is a palindrome.
Okay, now Adam, my issue with
Yes.
this is that you've created a program that checks for symmetry, not if it's a palindrome. Because what you did there was you compare the halves. Okay, with a palindrome, you gotta compare the entire word from beginning to end and from end to beginning. You get me? Because like say for example, like my example, Coco, okay, that would pass your test because it's symmetrical, but it's not actually a palindrome because it in reverse it would be oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what you need to do is compare the word from beginning to end and the word from end to beginning.
Oh, okay. Maybe this will work. No, it wouldn't. Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay, so for those of you in question 4 that don't know how to get the string from the end to the start, there are ways to do this. I mean, the way that you know how to do is that you use a loop. Okay, like so. And then remember with the substring, remember how to use a substring, guys. It's very important for this question. So this, the length of the string, basically, this will take the word at the very end of the string. So if your word is pancakes, this length string basically just means like how long the string is, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and we'll take the 7th value, which is S. Okay. And you take this value and you put it in a variable, and you just concatenate it onto a variable. Okay, so this is the way how you, with your knowledge, this is how you would do it. Okay, you take in every word, okay, and then you just you take in every word from the end, and then, sorry, not word, what am I saying? You take every letter from the end, and then you concatenate it onto reverse. So you first take S, and then you take E, and then you take K, and then A, C, and A, P, and so on and so forth. Okay, obviously you've got to do -1 every time the cycle goes through. But this is a bit of a cumbersome way to do it. Okay, and so an easier way to do this, and this is something I haven't taught you guys, is that rather than doing it the loop way, which will take a while, and you might not be able to do it because it might be too complex for you. An easier way to do this would be string -1. So what this does is this reverses the string. So what you end up getting is this. Sakachna, which is the reverse of pancakes. Now, basically what this does is it starts from the end and it goes all the way to 0 and it decreases by 1. So usually in a substring, when there's a third colon, okay, a third space for the substring, it's usually like how much you move by. So for example, if you're taking this, +2, okay, what you're basically doing is that you're going from 0 to 8, okay, but you're incrementing it by +2. So what's going to happen is it's going to take every other word. So it's P, okay, but since it moves up by 2 each time, instead of taking A, it takes N, okay, and then instead of taking C, it takes A. Instead of taking K, it takes E. Okay, so basically this third value in a substring is usually how much you're moving by. In this case, since you want the word from the end to the beginning, you're doing -1, okay, because you're working backwards rather than working forwards. So this is a much simpler way to get a word, but in reverse.
Rapid Fire finished, but I just put that and the input with an if. Should I show it, or is it already covered?
Yeah, go ahead and show it.
Okay. It's really, really simple. It just takes the input and then reversed it, and then checks if the original input and the reverse one are the same. So if I put Adam, it will say it's not. And if I put ADDA, it says it is.
Great. So you finished question 4 now. Just hold on tight. I'll give you question 5.
Okay.
Okay, so Adam, for question 5, this will be a bit of a challenge, but I'm sure you'll manage. The question is, write a program that allows you to input two strings, okay, and outputs how many characters match. So let me just give you an example of this. So say your string 1 is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And your string 2 is D, E, F, G, H, I, A. Okay, so that's your string 1. And that's your string 2. So basically, it compares the two strings and see how many characters match. So just from looking at it, we can tell that A is a matching character. Okay. G is a matching character. E is a matching character. And F is a matching character. Oh, as well as D, F and D. I think that's all of it. Oh, and I think there's also, wait. Yeah, I think we found all the matching characters. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we did. Okay. So basically, we found that 5 of those characters match. And so there are 5 characters that match, it will output 5. Okay, that's going to be the output, 5 characters matched, because A is in both, G is in both, E is in both, F is in both, and D is in both. So there are 5 characters that are in both, so they match. And so the output will be 5. That is question 5.
Fifth. So I'm still in question 4, but I don't understand like the part where it's string and then semicolon -1. I don't understand what that does and how we use it.
Oh, okay. So wait, Rafi, were you busy working on your code when I was explaining this?
Well, no, I was paying attention to what you were saying, but I still didn't get it quite right.
All right, that's okay. That's fine. Okay, so basically what this does is it reverses the string, okay? It basically, instead of going from start to end, it goes from end to start. Now, you could do this the other way with like a loop and just concatenating it onto a variable, but that's a long way. This is a much shorter way. And so what this basically does is, I know this probably won't make sense that much. I mean, when I first learned it, it didn't make sense to me, but basically, if you don't put anything, okay, if you don't put anything in a substring, the default, if you've done Excel or if you've done, use Access, Microsoft Access, you know, if you don't put anything in there, it's going to resort to a default. And so the default of this would just be start, end, okay? So that's the default. And like I said before, it's usually like the substring we learned last lesson didn't have this. It was just this, okay? But for this one, it is necessary to have a third one because you need to tell the program which direction you're going. So in this case, we're going backwards because it's -1, okay? If you do +2 or +3, you're going backwards 3 letters each time. You know, like I said before, if it's +2, then then you're gonna get something like P, and then it goes up by 2 each time. So the next one will be N.
Yeah, I heard this part. And then
Okay, yeah, you get that, right?
yeah, and
So
then A, and then
basically, I think your confusion was that there's nothing, and so you don't know where it
oh
starts.
yeah,
or ends.
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't understand why
basically,
there was nothing.
it resorts to a default, and the third one is basically just the direction you're going. So in this case, it's going backwards by 1.
Oh, okay.
But remember, when you're writing the code, don't put start and end. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's going to
So
think
just the
like you're referring.
semicolons.
It's going to think you're referring to a variable start or a variable end. Okay. So don't put those.
Okay. Oh, also, so string the string semicolon thing. Do I have to put that in a variable, or do I have to put that in a variable, right?
No, technically you don't. I mean, Adam put it in a variable, but you actually don't really need to because what you could do is just if string equals string and then
Oh, and then the
-1. Yeah,
actual thing. Oh,
you
okay.
can just compare it straight away.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, Rafif, I finished question 4. Do you want me to show it first, or do I go instantly to question 5?
Yeah, just go ahead and show it.
Okay. Okay, so this is the code, and then if I write palindrome, like this, it'll say that it is a palindrome. But if I don't, like cookies, it'll say it is not a palindrome.
Right, this code's good. Just one little gripe. You don't really need this n minus minus one. I mean colon minus one.
Oh,
Like
okay.
since it's already there,
Oh, it's already
yeah, you
here.
don't really need to do that.
Since it's already
Yeah,
here,
so
I
you
don't
can
have to write this.
so you can remove this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see.
okay, that's great.
Okay. Should I just go to question 5 now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, Rafif, I did the exact same thing as well.
For which one? Question 2, 3,
Question
or
4. 4.
So you did the exact same thing as Rafi?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can move on to question 5 now. Okay, so for those of you that are on question 5 is really, really difficult, okay? And so if you can't manage to solve question 5, just move on to question 6, which is write a program that converts the second half of the inputted string into uppercase letters. And so, for example, you have, or your string is geeks for geeks, yeah? So your string is geeks for geeks. Now the second half would starts from O. Okay, and since it converts it into uppercase letters, it will be geeks, F, and then ORGEEKS, uppercase letters. So the first half still lowercase, but the second half needs to be uppercase. And in order to convert a letter from lowercase to uppercase, or a string from lowercase to uppercase, you just got to do this. So let's just put this in a variable. You just got to do this, string dot upper. Now keep in mind, okay, this dot upper means it's going to make the entire string uppercase letters. And you don't want that, you only want the second half. So, you know, you've got to use a substring in there, and you've got to do like what you've got to do from the halfway point to the end point. So half to end. So you got to do something like this, and you got to print this off. So yeah, listen, there's no shame in you not being able to do question 5. It's really, really difficult, okay? In fact, let me just tell you something. Question 5 is A-level year 13 stuff, okay? So really there's no shame in you not being able to do it. So if you can't do question 5, you can go ahead and do question 6, which is write a program that converts the second half of the inputted string into uppercase letters.
Hello,
Yep, Hasna.
I have finished question number 4 and 5.
Oh, you finished 4 and 5. Well done. All right, let me just show question 4, and then you can show question 5. Okay, so this is question 4. So word equals, okay, reverse, and then, yep, question 4 looks good. Now let me see question 5. That's the one I'm interested in. Okay, so it allows you to input 2 strings. Okay, and then you have a counter, good. For S in range length of S1, seeker equals S1S. Now, Hasna, could you tell me what this line does? Seeker equals S1S.
Like so. The sticker is like example, if this S is like 1, so we find like the first letter in S1, and then the sticker
Yeah, okay, I get it. So basically seeker is just it's storing each letter of the string. So okay, so if seeker is in S2, you've used in. Clever, clever, clever. I didn't teach you how to do that, but you did it, so well done. If seeker in S2, then the same will be incremented. Okay, yeah, I think that should be all. Okay, hold on. Now, will this code work, for example, if there's two A's in both S1 and S2, okay, but it's still the same difference. So what I mean by that is, like, if in S1 there's two A's, okay, and in S2 there's also two A's, that counts as one difference, not two. I mean, that counts as one match, not two match. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think your code will work with that criteria? Like, do you think your code, if there's two A's in S1 and S2, you think it will increment same twice, or will it only increment it once?
I haven't
You get what I mean?
I haven't tried that. I forget.
Well, you should, because right now I think that's the only issue I have with your program, is that if there's two A's in S1 and two A's in S2, it will increment it twice because they think there's two different matching letters, but in reality, it's basically just the same letter. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, so just make sure that your code fulfills that criteria. Okay, so this also applies to any of you who are doing question 5. One thing I forgot to mention is that if there's A here and there's also another A here, the difference will still be 5, not 6, because the A difference is already counted here. Okay, so the A difference is already counted here. So this will stay 5, even though this A and this A is equal. Hasna, who knows, maybe your code would have still worked, but just make sure it fulfills this criteria. Okay, and again, for question 5, for those of you that don't know, basically in an if statement, you can do this. Which is something very clever that Hasna did, okay, is that basically in this code, you get the letter, okay, you get the letter, you get each letter from string 1, okay, so you get each letter from string 1, and if that letter in string 1 is in string 2, then it increments same by 1. Okay, it's a counter. This same thing, it just counts how many different characters match. So you got to use this. I mean, you don't have to, but if you don't have to, it gets really long-winded and it gets really difficult. Trust me, I've done it without this. But so it's really good practice for you to know this. because it makes this question 5 a lot easier if you do. Just remember, if a letter from string 1 is in string 2, then same is incremented by 1. Okay, it's just in. In's literally the only new concept that you're learning here. In.
Rafi, if I finish question 6, should I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So again, it was simple. I put the string into a list of the characters. I took the first half and the second half, used the upper thing you gave us for the second half, and concatenated the first half and the second half because the second half is capitalized. So when I run the code, if I put, for example, Adam, it makes the AM capital at the end.
Okay, that's good. But Adam, one thing I've been noticing you do is that you put the string in a list. Okay, you don't actually need to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
because
doing.
because Python by default, a string is already in a list. So you can remove this AR equals list X.
Oh, okay.
And so you can just do len and len X. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
So
Okay.
you don't need to put we put it in a list.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Adam, I just told you about the revolutionary feature of in an if statement. So if you use that feature, you should be able to do question 5.
Okay.
All right, guys, it's close to 6 o'clock. We're about to wrap up now. We're about to finish. So does anybody want me to show any code from 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? You know, even if it's not finished.
I can show you 6, but I'm not sure. There's like an error, and then I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, I'm done
Alright.
with my 6 question.
All right, so
I have two.
Rafi, you can show me question 6, and then
okay.
Rehan, you can show yours.
Alright.
So this is what I did.
Okay.
And then this is what the error I get.
Okay. So basically, Rafi, what you did a bit off here is that it's not supposed to be y equals. You don't need the equals, because the brackets is basically the substring. Okay. And the
Okay.
substring is always right next to the string name. So hold on a second. Your input, your string is called G, right?
Oh wait, so do I put G here?
No, not exactly.
Oh,
Just
here.
delete. Yeah, just before the
Oh,
square
yeah.
brackets.
Okay.
No, not there. Hold on. Just put X there. Okay, you did that right. Yeah, you did everything right. Yeah, the G needs to be there, and remove the Y equals.
Okay. And then put this here. Then like this.
Oh wait, actually, Rafi, forget what I said. Put the Y equals back, because I just realized. Yeah. Okay. So look. This basically X equals length of G. Okay. So basically, again, I found another error here. So basically, look, the first thing you do, you input G, right? G is your string.
Yeah.
X is like how long your G is. So if it's 8 letters,
Okay.
it's going to be 8 letters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like length.
Okay.
Then,
And then you divide that by 2 to get the halfway point.
yeah.
Okay. And again, there's also another issue here. That's not how you do a substring. Remember, substring is with colons.
Oh wait.
Right.
So do I do it here then? Like instead of the like this?
Okay, so that means you got to create a new variable called half. So just after the X,
Yeah, okay.
okay, press
Half.
enter. Half, okay.
Yeah.
And so now this is where you get the halfway point, which is basically the length divided by 2.
Oh, so this then.
Which is X divided by 2. No,
Oh.
just keep it there for a sec.
So X divided by 2, like this.
Yeah, okay. So that's going to be your halfway point. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's go to your substring, which is the G and then square bracket. Remember, like in the left, it's the starting.
Yeah.
And it usually always starts with 0. Remember? A substring starts with 0. Okay, so on the left, remove the X and put 0.
Here?
Yeah.
So I put 0.
But hold on a sec. Look what you're trying to do. You're trying to make the second half uppercase. So you gotta start it with what?
Oh,
where do you start from?
The half. Oh, so half.
Yeah,
And then-
half. And then what's the end?
The end.
The end is basically X.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
because
yeah.
it's the
Oh,
length
okay.
of the string.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it starts from the half and then it reaches to the end. And it
Yeah.
makes it uppercase.
Oh,
But now the problem is that only this Y consists of the second half uppercase. Now if you got to combine it with the first half.
okay.
That's where, which means you got to do down here, instead of X, okay, you got to do G.
Oh, G. Okay, wait.
G, because it's a substring.
Yeah.
And now for this G substring, you want the first half. So where do you start it from?
Oh, I started from the beginning, so X.
Yeah, the beginning is 0. X is the
Oh,
end
yeah.
because it's the
Wait.
length.
So do I just put brackets 0?
Yeah, square brackets.
Oh, square brackets.
Not square brackets. Okay, and then it starts from 0, colon. Remember colon. Okay, now what's the what do you want to end it with? Remember, this is the first half,
Yeah.
not the entire thing.
So
Where does it
the
end?
other half, so half.
Yeah, okay, so it
yeah.
goes from 0 to half. That's your first half. You combine it with y, which is basically from half to the end, uppercase.
Yeah, okay.
So at this point, your code should work.
Okay. So I just put like AD. Oh wait, what?
Okay, hold on. Slice indices must be integers or none or have an index method. Slice indices. I'm actually not sure what's going on here. It should work because Adam did the exact same thing. Wait, hold on, just remove the y equals.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just put this bit like in place of y. Okay, and then remove that bit. Just remove that bit. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Now try this.
All right. Wait, what? It's still saying the same thing.
You know what, Rafi? I'll just look into this more, and next lesson I can tell you why it's not working. All right?
Okay.
Because I would have worked on it, but you know it's the end of the lesson, so I'm afraid I would have to tell you the next lesson.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. I apologize for that. Anyway, now Rehan, you can show your question 6.
Yep. Here it is. And I tested it here, and then it capitalized the other half of the string.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just seeing a blank screen right now.
Wait, what? Can you not see it?
No.
Oh, one
Like
second.
it just says Rehan has started screen sharing. I don't see anything.
My computer suddenly froze like last time when I tried screen sharing.
Maybe try restarting.
No, like I can't do anything at all. Like it's completely frozen for some reason.
Well, that's all right then. We can look at it next lesson then.
Should I just restart my computer and then I send a screenshot to you on Discord or something?
Yeah. Just send it on Discord.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, it's 2:06. It's the end of the lesson. It's been a pleasure teaching you guys, and bye-bye.
Okay, bye.